All right, let's talk about one of the biggest changes to happen to the internet. Well, ever. I'm talking about the rise of AI search. If your business, your brand, or your content relies on being found online, then everything is about to change. We need to talk about Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO.
So why are we talking about this right now? Because of this number. Gartner, a huge research firm, is predicting that by 2026, 50% of all the traffic we get from traditional search engines is just gone. It's going to AI. That's not a small adjustment, that's an earthquake. And it means your audience is on the move.
So that leads to the million-dollar question for literally anyone with a website, right? Where are all those people going? If they're not clicking on that classic list of blue links anymore, how will they ever find you?
Well, they're shifting to a totally new way of finding information. Our behavior online is changing in a really big way. We're going from typing in a few keywords to having full-on conversations, asking real questions. Just think about it. Your average Google search is maybe 4 words long. With AI, it's closer to 23. It's a whole different ballgame.
And this, right here, is the new reality. For the last 20 years, the whole goal was to be the top blue link on the page. But now, the goal isn't to be a link to the answer. The goal is to be the answer itself.
Okay, so if that's the new goal, how in the world do you actually do that? Well, that brings us to this brand new field that's popping up, Generative Engine Optimization. Let's just call it GEO. This is basically the new playbook for getting seen in the age of AI.
To really get GEO, you have to kind of peek under the hood of the machine itself. Here's how it works. A person asks a question. The AI then takes that question, searches a whole bunch of different sources online, digests all of it, and then mashes it all together to create one single, clean answer. It's basically a synthesis machine.
So that brings us to what GEO actually is. At its core, GEO is just the practice of making your stuff so good, so authoritative, so clear, so useful, that these AI engines choose you. They choose to cite your work, to recommend your product, or to mention your brand right there in their final answer. See the difference? It's not about ranking anymore. It's about being referenced.
So you're probably thinking, okay, but how is this different from the SEO I've been doing for the last decade? That's the perfect question, because the difference here isn't just a little tweak. It's a fundamental shift in how we need to think.
I mean, it really just boils down to this. The whole goal of SEO was to get your link to the top of a list. Simple. But with GEO, the goal is to get your information woven directly into the fabric of the AI's response. It's a totally different objective.
And this table really breaks it all down. Our focus has to shift from just keywords and backlinks to things like how our content is structured and how much authority it has. You know, that EEAT stuff Google talks about. And the metric we care about, it's not click-through rate anymore. It's citation rate. How often does the AI pick you as a source? That's the new KPI.
All right, so we get the shift. We know what GEO is. Now let's get to the most important part. How do you actually win in this new AI world? What do you do? I mean, look at this. This picture says it all. Before GEO, you ask about New York, you get a pretty generic, boring answer. But after you apply these GEO principles, a specific brand, in this case, one for New York-style pizza, is featured right there in the AI's response. That's the goal. That's the win.
And listen, this isn't just a guess. There's real research coming out that shows applying these specific GEO tactics can boost how often you're cited in an AI answer by up to 40%. That is a massive, measurable advantage.
So what actually works? Well, the research is pretty clear on what the AI seems to like best. It's things like adding citations from authoritative sources into your own content, including direct quotes from experts, using actual numbers and statistics instead of vague statements, and honestly, just making sure your writing is clear and easy to understand.
So let's turn all this theory into a real plan. Here's a 5-step framework you can use to start getting ready for GEO right now.
Okay, number 1, start thinking in full questions, not just keywords. Number 2, be assertive. Put your main point right at the beginning. Don't bury the lead. 3, structure your content for clarity. Use headings, use lists, use structured data. Make it easy for a robot to read. 4, prove you know what you're talking about. Back up your claims with data. And number 5, go beyond just text. Use images, charts, and videos to tell your story.
Now this is super important. Don't go and throw out everything you know about SEO. GEO doesn't replace it, not at all. It actually builds on top of it. Think of it like this. Having strong SEO is the foundation. It's what gets you in the game. GEO is the next layer you add to make your content AI ready.
So we'll leave you with this one final question to think about. The game isn't about having the best page for a keyword anymore. It's about anticipating and answering the complex, conversational questions your audience is asking these new AI systems. So you have to ask yourself, in this new world of AI answers, is your brand even part of the conversation?